Yeah, am I audible?
Yes,
You
sir.
are.
Yes, yes.
Good.
Okay. So now next speaker of this session is our senior faculty members from VPKBIT. So Mr. Dinesh Jende, and topic of today's session is transforming teaching learning process through artificial intelligence or AI. Okay. So first, sir, welcome you for this 1 week IST STTP program, Innovative Teaching Learning Methods. Welcome, sir. So I would like to take this opportunity to introduce Jende, sir. So, sir completed his ME in computer from Shivaji University, Kolhapur. He also completed his BE in computer from Shivaji University, Kolhapur. He had 17 years of teaching experience. Currently, sir is working as in charge head of Department of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science. He is assistant professor in VPKBIT Baramati and he is working in VPKBIT since 2002. He participated in Summers Faculty Research Fellowship Program in 2015 at IIT Delhi. He worked on 2 research projects sponsored by BCUD, Savitribai Phule Pune University. Also, sir established the Center of Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning at VPKBIT Baramati. With this short introduction, I request Jende sir to start the session. So, sir, please start the session.
Thank you,
Over
ma'am.
to you, sir.
Okay.
Well,
Is my screen visible?
yes, yes, sir. Visible. That is the last slide.
Okay.
Yes,
Now it
yes,
is fine.
yes.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Hibrikar, Sonani sir, Bhulte madam, for giving me the opportunity to present this topic in front of all the uh, esteemed participants from various institutes. So I welcome all the participants on this session. I hope you and your family members are safe and taking care in this COVID pandemic situation. So today I'll be discussing with this transformation of the teaching learning processes through various applications of artificial intelligence. So most of us are already aware about the term artificial intelligence and machine learning. But this is not the latest term, but it had been become popular now, but it had coined in around 1950. And now why it has become popular is because we have lots of high-speed computing devices available, good storage capacity, and then the data volume is also increasing day by day with the lots of digital gadgets that are coming with and all the application that you have. And there are lots of advancement is done or is going in artificial intelligence. So the artificial intelligence is becoming more popular nowadays. uh, there is a rough definition of an artificial intelligence. Is what is artificial intelligence? We, as a human being, are different than the other animals because we have a brain and we have intelligence. We can apply those intelligence, and can we give that intelligence to machine? So we are expert in some of the cognitive functions like problem solving, pattern recognition, and learning from the mistakes, learning from the experience, past experiences. So can we make the machine to learn from its experiences so that making the machine to think like a human or mimicking the human cognitive functions is called as artificial intelligence. It's a vast area. And then, this has been possible to make the machine to learn is from the experiences. So we can adjust, or the machine can adjust to the new inputs, and it can perform like human task or human like task. So most of the AI applications that you see all around, or even if you take out your mobile phone, there are hundreds of applications of artificial intelligence. You may have heard about the computer games or the chess playing computer, or you may have seen the self-driving cars that the Google has launched, or Tesla, and there are so many technologies that now depend on the one of the subset of artificial intelligence, which is called as deep learning. So artificial intelligence is everywhere. So if you look around, you will find lots of applications of AI, ML, and deep learning. So machine learning. If you think about machine learning is nothing but a subset of artificial intelligence. So that basically deals with the statistical techniques, and it gives the ability to computer to learn from the data, and without being explicitly programmed. So a machine become more better at understanding and providing the insight into the data, and it gives you more learning, more meaning out of that data. And machine learning had come in around say year 1990 around, and then came into picture deep learning. Okay, so this deep learning basically is the subset of machine learning. So if you can see the diagram, so machine learning is subset of AI, and deep learning is subset of machine learning. So it uses a technology called as artificial neural network. Okay, so we have human have their own neural network. So like that, we can develop a multi-layered neural network to perform some tasks like object detection, speech recognition, language translation, and many more that you see nowadays, like driverless car. Okay, so these are the applications of the deep learning, and they can automatically learn, extract, translate the features from the data or images or video, and they can without being hard coded, they can learn the things out of it. So I'm not going into the much technical details of this, but just for the sake of introduction, AI, which actually there is a technology that mimics the human cognitive functions. Machine learning is a subset of AI, which uses a statistical algorithms to learn, make the machine learn. And deep learning is subset of machine learning, which uses the artificial neural network for the various tasks on the images, data, and video. So why to go with AI is because many of the industries like Amazon, Google, Microsoft, you may have heard it in the newspaper, or you may have read it in the newspaper, or heard it in the news, that they are investing billions of dollars of funds in the research and development of AI, because the next era will be of artificial intelligence. There are many job openings coming in the market. Students are there is a huge workforce required, and there is a lots of investment. Lots of projects are coming. So AI is now kind of a trending topic. So why people are more concerned about AI is because AI saves a lot of your time, your effort, your money, and delivers the best of the best product without without getting it delayed, without getting it over budget. Okay, so basically the thing is that when you have repetitive tasks, okay, so if I ask you to do some X task repetitively for 8 hours, the human worker or the human labor get fatigued, they get bored, they may make mistakes. But you have a kind of machine that actually do a repetitive task, it will never get fatigue, or it will never go on a strike. So AI is different. Okay, it automates the repetitive task, and even it learns from that repetitive task, and it may discover a maybe optimal way to do that task. Okay, and instead of manual task, AI or robotic automation is obviously more efficient. So it performs a frequent high volume computerized tasks reliably and without getting fatigue. Okay, so obviously you require a little human intervention for that, but once you set up the system and once you make the system to learn from that task, it will automatically do that task. AI adds intelligence to the your existing product. So if you think about what is AI, basically it doesn't comes as a separate product or separate bundle. It is what you have your own existing product, and then if you add some intelligence into that, so that will become intelligent product. So AI will not be sold as a separate package or separate individual application. Rather, the product that you have already will be improved with the the capabilities of AI. You may have heard about Google Voice Assistant, Siri, Alexa. So that was not there few years back, but now you have your search comes with Siri or your Google Assistant. You can directly give the voice commands to your mobile and all those things. So mobile was there. Now it comes with the voice assistant. That is what is the feature of AI. So the automation, the bots that you see are the examples of intelligence added to the existing product. Okay, maybe you may have seen on television there are lots of smart devices coming in, smart fans, smart ACs, smart refrigerators. They are nothing but the added feature of AI. AI adopts for the progressive learning. So you have algorithms that learns from the mistakes, that learns from the data, that can learn from the experiences, and it can find a structure or regularity or a pattern in the data, so that it will acquire a kind of skill. Okay, so you can, if you train a computer to to play a kind of in a game like say chess, so you only if you teach the initial moves, then ultimately it will find the optimal way of playing chess by its own. Okay, so that is what AI is. It is the beauty of AI. Analysis of the data. If you have, the human has human operator or human, the user has a limitation on analyzing the data, but AI can dig into the data. So if you have, let's say, terabytes of data, that it can give you the analysis of the accurate and better analysis of the data in an optimal way. With the help of lots of advanced algorithms and deep learning technologies, it gives you the better analysis with the greater accuracy, and it will give you the most of the meaning out of the data. Human can miss some of the meaning of the data, but it will give you the better meaning of the data. It is obviously faster because you have lots of high computing devices available. There are GPUs, TPUs available. Even if you don't want to invest into that, online cloud services are available where you can rent it out. You can use that services for a period of time, and you can pay for only that period. So all those services are available online. So with the help of the cloud technology, high-speed internet, high-speed computing devices, better storage. So all these things are now possible nowadays. I hope you have seen this picture somewhere. This is the Sophia. This is the first humanoid that got the citizenship of the Saudi Arabia, I think so, right? Saudi Arabia and Hong Kong. It was developed by Hanson Robotics, and basically there is a debate between AI experts that this is not a robot basically, but it can give you the answers to almost all your questions. It can learn from your questions. It will search over the internet and it will give you the better answers. So it has all the capabilities of speech recognition, speech synthesis capability, and it is getting smarter by the time, over the time. And if you see already several manufacturing units, like say car manufacturing or the assembly line, you see in manufacturing companies, they are already having this automation. They have robotics and automations or robotic hands are doing the task on behalf of the users. Information technology is another field where you see a lot of breakthrough this with the help of this AI and machine learning. So if you know that now the HR job, the human resource manager, those who hire the employees, even that HR job is automated, and now the AI is doing the job on behalf of the HR. So even you don't need to hire a HR. So there are some of the, this is not the disruptive technology, but there are some of the jobs that can be replaced with the help of AI. So I'll just quickly go through this applications, banking and finance, transportation. So you may have heard about that even if when you do one transaction at ATM, it results into 6 entries at different ledgers. And you can imagine the volume of the data that is being generated at bank. And then if you want to find out some pattern in the transaction, or if you want to look at the fraudulent transactions or some fraud going on, so it is very difficult for a human operator. So AI can, if you set the pattern, will do it in a couple of minutes. Transportation, you have heard about driverless cars. So already it is an Tesla had started its operation in Bangalore, and Tesla had already deployed the driverless car. So days will not be far if we see some the driverless taxis on the roads. Okay, manufacturing we have just discussed now. Retail, go to the Amazon site, you see all those product recommendations that are coming on the shopping sites. They are with the help of this AI. So if they look into the pattern that you surf, they look into the pattern that you are actually going through the products, and they will recommend you the product. Healthcare applications. A recent example is the COVID pandemic. 80% of the task of finding this vaccine has been done by the supercomputer with the help of artificial intelligence. So all those protein structure and genome sequencing, all those done with the help of AI and deep learning algorithms. So that is what is the latest example. Other, or you can think about the remote surgery, okay, and maybe the drug discovery, okay. So all those things can be possible with the help of AI. A recommendation system, YouTube, Facebook, your Netflix, okay. All those are the friend recommendation on Facebook is the best example of AI. Then the videos to be watched that comes on YouTube or your Netflix, the movies recommendation, they are the examples of this AI. There are lots of research is going on almost in all domains, space, agriculture. So you may have heard about the Mars mission of NASA. So the rover that they have deployed, it obviously has the AI capabilities. In agriculture, almost in every sector, soil testing, water testing, crop yield estimation, then weather forecasting, maybe. So everywhere, disease detection, everywhere they have the application of AI. So we can have a separate session on this topic, but due to the limitation of time, I'll skip to the stick to our specific context. So that is what is the application of AI for transforming the teaching learning processes. So with this, we have already seen the impacts of this AI with the help of this to the online education program. So now, since we are already in the form of this new norm of tech-mediated learning, so this is because of the COVID pandemic that what we have seen. So we have shifted from our traditional classroom teaching to this online education platforms, and we can have a debate on whether it is effective or not. But the thing is that we have to be technologically ready for this teaching learning processes. So obviously this online education system is evolving. It is not new, but it is still in the evolution process, and this is the new norm of tech-mediated learning. Okay, and the advancement in the AI and machine learning may be helpful for altering the educational tools and can help the institutions for adopting this type of learning. And there are specific tools that will help you to develop the skills and the testing of this particular system, online education system. So as I said, this is not the new way of teaching learning. It had been in the picture since 1980s, when the internet has been started, and then there are good computers coming. So distance learning came into picture from, I think, 1980s, and then later the technological innovation and the scalability of the content and the high-speed internet came into picture. So this is becoming more popular. So even it can also save some burden of the fees of the students by 20 to 50%. So I will discuss the specific case study of Georgia Tech Institute, where they have launched the online program of their Master of Computer Science, and it had a cost around $7,000 at that time. And Georgia Tech is not alone. Other various universities in US, they have parallelly started this online courses. So I'll refer to the University of Illinois. They have started their completely replaced their online on-campus MBA program with the online MBA program. So now I will specifically discuss this AI-based application of the virtual teaching assistant. So the professors at universities in America or European universities, they have teaching assistant. Okay, so those teaching assistants help them to assess the answer sheet or maybe prepare the question bank and all those things that is requiring time-consuming tasks. So I'll specifically the case study of this Professor Ashok Goel. And in 2015, Ashok Goel and his colleagues announced in one of the class that they have a new teaching assistant called as Jill Watson. They have never revealed the details about it, but they told that there will be a teaching assistant called as Jill Watson, and it will be joining their course on artificial intelligence. Actually, the Ashok Goel was teaching the course on artificial intelligence, and they have not given the details of that. But Jill Watson was actually a computer program. It was an artificial intelligence agent. It was an AI agent that was deployed on the network of Georgia Tech for the course of artificial intelligence. When the students started submitting the assignments, and they used to ask the questions on their online forums, and their assessments were done by Jill Watson. And at the end of the term, students started suspecting that the answers to the questions and the assignment evaluation is not coming from a human teaching assistant. It is probably coming from the computer and a computer agent, AI agent. So that was the Jill Watson. Even the students were not able to find this online program of evaluation of the all these assignments. And then after that, Jill Watson had participated in more than 17 classes on online and offline at various levels, graduate and undergraduate level, and subjects from biology to engineering and computer science. And now this is this Jill Watson have even become more powerful. So initially, when the Jill Watson was programmed, it took more than 1,500 hours of programming using the IBM Watson technology. I hope you have heard about IBM Watson technology. But whereas there was a technology called as Agent Smith of IBM Watson. So it took it actually created a sibling application of that, and this for Jill Watson, 10 hours of input is now sufficient. So you can imagine, if you want to deploy Jill Watson for your course, 10 hours of input is more than sufficient to deploy this particular AI agent for your course. The variants of Jill Watson are the virtual ecological research assistant, which actually reads the document and answers the questions about, let's say, syllabus or reference manual. And it enables the users to construct conceptual ecological models and run interactive simulation. And there is one more variation, which is social agent mediated interaction. So as you know, due to this online education or online learning platform, there is a lack of social engagement of the students, because they are not mixing with the other colleagues, other fellow students. So they are not interacting with them. So this SAMI actually take care of this social contact and emotional engagement of the online students. So by alerting them the interest and the background that they can share with the classmates, it make the students to more interaction with the other fellow students. So that is one topic of discussion, why the students actually lag in the social engagement. So we'll discuss it later. So all this digitization and AI that actually have made this the teaching learning process more efficient and effective. But it can help to customize the content as per the requirement of the students, and can do kind of behavioral analytics, learning psychology, understanding the learning psychology of the students, the content delivery, or say the assessment of the progress of the student, the completion rate, etc. So there are various tools that will help to make the global classroom available to the all kinds of learners. Okay, that obviously having kind of special needs. So we have lots of applications that can be used for automatic grading, say remote monitoring, like say whether the students is proctored kind of things. So you may have heard about that the universities are now asking the candidate to keep the camera on so that they can monitor whether they are not cheating with the examination system. So in this pandemic situation, such technologies are required. So it actually obviously saves the time of the instructor, the class teacher, and you can even focus on the more high value tasks of yours. So we can think about an AI-enabled learning management system. So we use Google Classroom, we use all other Moodles and all those things. But if you think about AI-enabled learning management system that can automatically do survey or categorize the students into a kind of group, or may do online evaluation, automatical grading, maybe customization of the class contents, etc. So that can we can think of. So just beyond the preferences, we can think about the splitting the long lectures into the chunk of small atomic components that can easily understood and digestible by the system. So if you have seen most of the videos on Coursera or edX, they are not of 40-45 minutes of lecture. They are just a small video of 5 to 10 minutes, so that one atomic concept can be covered in the small chunk of some small piece of the video. Okay, so that can be easily understood and digestible. So if we think about the content creation, see, content is very crucial for the effectiveness of the education or effectiveness of the teaching learning. So it has the AI has the potential to make the content more grammar free and of top notch quality. So without the appropriate content, it is challenging to reach out to the student. So content creation is more challenging for the teachers, and with the help of AI, the burden of creating, let's say, grammar free and quality content can be reduced. And now many educational institutes are coming with this particular type of content. And nowadays, with this online education, it is very much easy to create online contents. E-books are there, video lectures are there, audio lectures are also there. So the content can be customized. They can be created with the help of all these audiobooks, because there are some students who are slower learners. They are maybe lacking the reading power. They are suffering maybe from dyslexia kind of diseases. So audiobooks will be of help. Okay, and obviously with the help of the cloud technologies and internet, sharing is now much more easy than the previous traditional classroom teaching. So from any where you can create the content and share the content from any part of the world. Next topic is of mentoring. Okay, so we know in India, typically the size of the classroom is around 40 to 50, and giving attention to all students is not possible. So with the help of AI and other big data analysis, we can understand the need of the students, and we can give him the special attention. So not all students are bright, and not even all students can grasp the things easily. So we can, with the help of the data, we can understand that who is in the need of giving the attention, and we can um, give a proper maybe we can give a customized kind of course to that particular student. It is in obviously in progress, because they have to opt for the mode of teaching for this, and then we have to test with the type of, there are many research papers are also available on this. Next, an interesting thing is about augmented reality. So you may have seen it at various places. Like Baiju is now come up with the augmented reality and virtual reality. So virtual reality based applications or based experience are very much good for learning easily. So any topic can be easily learned right from your biology, human anatomy, etc. So I'll just give you a quick application of this. Maybe I'm actually running out of time. So this is a human anatomy. So look at this. With the help of this, you can easily see all the parts of the human body. And now it is much more better than just showing the 2D picture. So at a particular muscle or particular part of the body, all those details can be made available. It is just like you are watching it kind of body on your table. So how the blood flows, how the heart works, and all those things. So I have provided, this is about the retina, eye, the components or the parts of the human visionary system, and etc. I'll share this later. Okay. This is one of the, I know this person personally. So this is one of best applications. So here you can go and see, you can try out various garments. Okay. But you don't need to go to the changing room. So this is one of the AR experience that you can just swipe your hand, and then you can see the dress is changing over here. The garments are changing, and you can select any type of garment. The menu is there, and you can even use the QR code to see how you look like on your mobile phone. So you can see this lady scanning the QR code, and every type of color and garment can be try out. So this is developed by one of the software company situated in Mumbai, Textronics. So, and this is one more. These are the headsets that are used for augmented reality. You may have seen it in many applications. So I'll just go with this application of the roller coaster. This is the virtual reality application. I'll just skip a little bit. So here you can see, you can have a feel of actual virtual roller coaster ride. And then this is a typical example of virtual reality. So if you put the headset, then actually you feel full that you are actually riding the real roller coaster. So I'll just stop it. And then this is AR experience of this National Geographic. They have installed the AR module at a mall, and then you can see that you see all those animals coming there, which is actually not there, but on the screen you can see. Okay, look at this lady is having a jaguar. But show you from the back side, okay, how it looks like. Okay, so I hope you can see the screen over here. So that screen is actually showing that you are playing with the animals, and those are they're actually not there. They are created with the AR experience. So there are many applications of augmented reality. Augmented reality basically is giving you a kind of digital or physical digital experience. Okay, so it can give you a kind of digital presence of kind of things in your actual space. Okay, So there are many applications that actually you are using this AR and VR. One of the example is Baiju. Baiju, you may have seen some of the videos of this. So in a project based now, many of the institutions are focusing on project and skill based learning. So project and skill based learning basically expect the students to learn certain skills, and that skills can be learned online. Now we have virtual lab of IIT Bombay. We are having so many technological applications, so that will help the students to learn with all those skills like problem solving, communication. So that can be taught online also. Personalized curriculum and content, so we can make the content see, as we know, every individual as is perceived as an individual, so obviously the content and the curriculum can be customized according to the requirement. So we can have the recommendation if you find that the student is not having some certain skills, like say they are weak in mathematics, so we can recommend some course to make those gaps bridge. So we can recommend that you can go for this course to learn the mathematics or the basics of the mathematics. So AI basically can give you what the students need and when actually they need it. So we have already talked about AI-based virtual assistants. So I just give this part, and only the thing is that the speed, efficiency, and the capacity of handling the large number of students can be done easily with the help of the virtual assistants. So I think I am actually running out of time, so I will put my concluding remarks. So, and with the help of the AI, we can scale this online learning to new heights, and AI can actually slowly moving towards this particular online program or educational systems, I say, but it will take time. So this is not fully yet matured. So it is sure to transform the education system, that what we have now observing or experiencing. So with the help of the virtual assistants, they will handle the classes. The whole meaning of the education will change, and the days are not far when this could become in a kind of a reality. So AI will definitely prove to be the change in the needed change in the education system. And obviously the personalized approach toward the learning or the customization is what actually we all are looking for, right? From even from our school days, what we are actually looking for. So the process is slow, but it will definitely come to evolve. It will definitely evolve. It will the students and the teacher, the administrator, the institute will actually get the benefits of artificial intelligence as it will more mature. So there is a kind of debate that whether it will replace some of the human force. So maybe it this is a kind of a question for the debate, but I will not go into that. But yes, so we have to look for that. So it also raises the questions about the security, privacy, and about the bias and the trust. So we have to answer this as we go or proceed with the AI. The experts in the AI can answer all these questions, and they can have advanced algorithms that will actually reduce the bias and will increase the trust. So obviously there is a vast scope of AI in the field of education, and already the e-learning platforms are already they have set up all those things. The efforts are being taken for experiencing this whole new learning experience. So we have to adopt, not fully, but we can have a kind of a blended type of model where we can have some part of the things once the colleges will reopen. So maybe we will forget about this online learning platform, but actually, if we can go with the blended learning, it will make it more meaningful. So it will obviously make a better experience for all of us. So I'm sure that with the help of this, the days will not be far that the students will learn what they actually need to learn and when they want to learn. Okay. So with this, my concluding remark, I conclude my presentation over here. These are some of the slide references that actually I have tried to get the information from. So thank you very much. If you have any doubt, you can mail me. on my email address, and my mobile number is also available there. Okay.
Thanks a lot,
So
dear
that's it.
Jende sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very much informative and interesting session on the emerging topic, artificial intelligence. Many of the participants must be concerned with this. I am quite sure about that. And it has been confirmed that many virtual miracles to come hence again. Now, the participants are free to ask. Yes, we will welcome 2-3 questions. Participants can unmute. I think there is no any question. So, Bhoiti madam, can you proceed further for vote of thanks?
Yes, sir. So, thank you, Jende sir, for such a nice and informative session. So, sir, explain what is artificial intelligence and how artificial intelligence is used in many fields. And now it is a time for online education system, and artificial intelligence brings transformations, changes, and it is definitely helpful in teaching and learning. So, sir gives many examples like as a virtual assistant, Jill Waston. Then we can assess so many assignments if number of students are there. Again, it is helpful for quality content generation of quality content. Then it's secure smart mentoring system. Sir also mention how this AI is used in learning, then feedback, uh, and sir gives lots of videos like as try on fabric magic mirror, roller coaster ride. So we thank you, sir, for you for this nice and wonderful session. Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you, sir.